The fourth trailer for the long-awaited Persona 5 dropped today, and with it comes a lot of new information, a lot of speculation, a lot of new characters, and a lot of new content. So let's quit beating around the bush and get this thing started. The trailer begins with our main character being interrogated just as he was in the third promotional video. The woman speaking demands our hero tell her about the other world, and if it really exists or not. Then, she threatens to end him if he doesn't comply. Naturally, the main character simply just gives that devilish grin. Then, we cut to a whole gang of thieves escaping and entering the gallery dungeon, which seems to have an MC Escher thing going on. Well, hey, that's pretty cool, but more on that later. Right now, we have our first look at our main character's summer outfit and the back streets of the city, complete with random maids and... Is that a goddamn robot shop? What the heck is that about? I assume it's just like an icon for electronics or maybe a toy store, but out of all the icons we've had on our minimap, this one definitely shoots out as the most odd. Aside from that though, in the previous scene, we get to see what appears to be a strange man in gym attire. We'll get to him a bit later. A student we can talk to, and more gossip to listen on. That's more of the same though, so let's fast forward a bit and we get the grand entrance of who many are referring to as Anne's Stalker. His real name is currently unknown, so for the moment, let's just call him Harry because, oh wow, those legs. So Harry appears to be our first target in the palace, and he might be the guy who was in the hallway in the second scene, as they do have very similar hair, but as we can see in this boss clip, some things have changed since the last time we saw him. Now he has these minions behind him weighed down by these giant volleyballs with chains. Yeah, I don't really know what's up with that. In the next scene, they're gone though, so perhaps maybe like Harry will consume his allies and then be free and unleash his devastating volleyball of doom. I don't know, maybe. Aside from the boss battle itself though, we finally get to see our in-game battle menu, which actually looks amazing. So this time around, it appears each face button on the controller will perform a different action. I think this is honestly genius and will really speed up combat, and as we'll see in a later video, speed I think is what Atlus is really going for with Persona 5. Next up, we get an animated sequence with the real-life Humpty Dumpty who probably just remembered he left the water running in his apartment. Yeah. A cool action scene of our heroes running away from money, and then some more stealth RPG gameplay. Oh my gosh. And then our next party member who appears to be awakening to her persona. There's a goddamn motorcycle. So we don't know much about this armor-clad boxer, except that she might be the student council president, as Anne mentioned something to that degree towards her, and honestly, guys, she just looks so stinking sick. Honestly, there are more characters shown off in this video, but I just have to say this right now. Wow, they knocked it out of the park with her costume. Her persona is okay. We really only get to see a lot of it, but her brass knuckle weapons and this revolver that she had, oh my, it's such a cool combo, dude. As for Arcana she is going to represent, it's pretty safe to assume she will be the Chariot Arcana as well. Her persona is literally a vehicle, and chariot users are usually known for their might rather than their magic. But at the same time, her collar does have the initials BJ on it, which are the two same letters on the High Priestess card. A punching priestess. I kind of like the sound of that, actually. But at the end of the day, we still know almost nothing about this character. Hopefully, the upcoming Famitsu article will give us some more info on Barrette Girl soon. Moving along, we got the Phantom sliding into Cairo. Disclaimer, I don't actually know if they're going to Egypt. I just really want them to. I don't know why. Anyways, a boy can dream. Immediately after that scene, though, we get to see who I think is Yusuke's teacher, who has been stealing his artwork and claiming it as his own. For those who don't know, there was a Famitsu interview where that was mentioned a couple months ago. So I'm thinking that teacher might be this guy. And for some reason, he's wearing, like, geisha makeup. That's probably an Eastern thing. I don't really get it, but it looks like the rotten adult for the second dungeon is this guy, who will eventually morph into that painting boss that we saw in the TGS trailer last year. After that, back to Egypt we go, and apparently we are fighting a sphinx mixed with a librarian on top of a pyramid. No big deal, I do that every day. Sadly, it's a very brief scene, we can't really get too much out of that, but it does set us up to meet our new navigator, Sakura Futaba, and her persona, Necronomicon. That's right. While a majority of the personas we've seen so far are based on the characters inside of books, Sakura's persona is literally a book, the magic grimoire from the Cthulhu mythos to be exact. Sakura will, like supports before her, give us intel and buffs from outside the battle, and she'll most likely protect us from lethal attacks. Based on her persona's design and background as a computer-loving introvert, maybe she will be the Hermit Arcana or Hanged Man. Either way though, I think she's a very cool designed character all around. I did kind of hope we'd have a male navigator this time, just to shake things up a little bit, but oh well, and actually, you know what, there is actually one thing bothering me about her design. Why does she look like an Inkling? Like, you cannot say she doesn't. It is verbatim, almost the same character. Like, is someone getting sued at Atlus? Kidding aside though, before we continue though, with Sakura's introduction, there are a few small details being shown off here that I'd like to go into. First up, we have Yusuke's weapon of choice, the katana, Mithra's strange journey artwork actually getting created into a 3D model, which is, well, actually really exciting, and from Necronomicon's stat screen, we can see that there are two elements that were not in Persona 3 or 4. The first of which is to the right of Garu, looks to be either gravity or nerve. And next to that, it looks like Nuclear will be making a comeback from the PS1 Persona games. This is actually really good for Persona 5, as in past SMT games, many enemies would be susceptible to status effects, but the scan feature wouldn't really tell you that. But now it looks like it will be treated as another element, which will probably make some Arcanas like Hermit more viable. And I'll probably go into more detail on that a little bit later, but honestly, this is very good for the balance of Persona 5. I'm not sure if that is going to be nuclear damage or not, but hey, it makes me really excited nonetheless. Next up in the following frame, if you pause at just the right moment, you can see what might be our fast travel menu, and also some of the names of locations in the game, which is actually pretty cool. We're also apparently old enough to be a part-time bartender. I don't think that's illegal. Also, we can work at a ramen shop, it appears, and wait. No, that's not him. There's no way. No, it can't be. It can't. No, that can't be him. There's no way it's him. Junk food aside, we got a different shot of this really odd casino, which we'll see later on in the video as well, and then another character awakening into his rotten form. Just like Yusuke's teacher on the ground, there appears to be this wind effect blowing back the characters. And then we see this really unintimidating mobster blocking the way to the vault. I think that's the trailer is trying to say here, is that this bank-esque level may in fact be the lower floor of the casino dungeon. But I'm not too sure. Whoever the heck this guy is, I don't really know. I assume he's supposed to represent the deadly sin of greed. And if he doesn't, well, honestly, that'd be incredibly surprising, but I think there's more to this guy than meets the eye. There's no way this could be his final form, you know? Anywho, here's some more shots of the planetarium dungeon. Looking good. Oh, and then the pretty girl appears. No, that's not me being biased. Morgana literally says, "Don't worry about the money. Me and the pretty girl will take care of it." And then the girl says, "I am the pretty girl." And that's it. That's literally all we get out of this character. I am the pretty girl. That's all she is in this trailer, basically. So outside of her using like this halberd axe thing and then a grenade launcher, pretty girl here doesn't show much off, except this really stylish finishing move, which apparently everyone likes. I mean, I like it too, but people are really like, she's the best character. I'm like, really, guys? Anyways, I know we don't get to see her persona in this trailer at all, but if I had to guess, perhaps she is the Lover's Arcana, since I have reason to believe that Anne might actually be the Empress, given her codename later on in the video on Sakura's phone is, well, Queen. But this may sound odd coming from me, but I'm kind of happy they didn't reveal everything about this character quite yet, as having just a little bit of a teaser is more than enough for me right now. And honestly, I think I can go a couple months without seeing her persona. Aside from that though, her finishing move looks really cool. I assume her persona is most likely going to be some kind of musketeer or something, and yeah, I look forward to what the pretty girl has to offer to Persona 5. After that, we get a 15-year-old in a bikini that is way too small. Okay, why? Anywho, this looks like our calendar, and maybe our heist days will be marked with this dagger. And can we just have a moment to appreciate that sound effect? Wow, that's just so satisfying. And woohoo, festival, yeah! Wait, why is everyone so sad? What is going on in this scene? It's like, yeah, really exciting festival fireworks, and everyone's like, crap, man, the end of the world's gonna happen. I don't know what's happening here. It's just really odd. But this trailer moves so quickly, we don't even have time to question it. Hey, sick airplane transition, though! And then we see a character that I am extremely puzzled by, actually. So, excluding Morgana, we have 4 boy party members and 4 girl party members. The 4th male character has not been shown in this trailer, but he is on the box art and looks nothing like this guy at all. So, who is he? Is it possible Morgana's a dude and this is his human form? Or maybe this is a relative of our main character? I mean, they look kind of similar, I guess. And it's also really strange how he appears in 2 different cutscenes, one on the train and now in this one. Maybe he's a friend of the team, but doesn't have a persona, but he tags along anyways, and they're just like, alright, peace out, dude, we gotta go steal some crud. Anyway, the next question I have is, where are they going exactly on this airplane? In this shot, they are all in summer clothing, so maybe they're actually going to the real-world Cairo to rob the pyramids for some reason? Because most vacation spots in Japan, you can get there by train or boat, so they must be leaving the country, right? I'm probably reading way too much into this, but I really want the Persona 5 characters to go to Egypt. I just can't put my finger on it. I don't know why. Oh yeah, and the casino blew up, by the ways, and Ryuji is pissed about it because he most likely left his large Coke in that building and forgot about it. And here's Sakura's phone with everyone's code names, by the way. Now, keep in mind the translations for these are kind of wonky, so I apologize for any inaccuracies, but from the top, we should have Joker, which is naturally our main character. Anne is the queen, Ryuji is Skull, Yusuke is Inari, who is a fox god of sorts, and the others are Panther and Novel. I assume Panther would make sense for Morgana. Not sure on Novel, though. Maybe that's Sakura's. Also, her username on this computer is HoneyQ something. That probably holds 0 significance at all, but I thought it was worth mentioning. Soon after, we have some flashy combat sequences, and Alice is asking people to die for her again, this time with teddy bears. Gotta say, I like that updated animation. And some Middle Eastern demons get owned. A brief glimpse of the Velvet Twins in our cage, as well as this Velvet Guillotine, which personally I think will be used for Persona fusions, similar to sacrificing demons in the Cathedral of Shadows in Shin Megami Tensei 3. I could be wrong, it could be for our execution, but I don't know why there's 2 guillotines if that's the case, but I guess we'll see. And then we have this incredibly intense shot of a man walking up golden bodies up to a throne, which we can suppose is probably the primary antagonist or a secondary antagonist. And it's pretty obvious that this is the guy from the beginning of the trailer where he walked past the Humpty Dumpty dude and gave him like the heart problem. I'm just gonna come out and say it right now. My speculation is this is the Rotten Man, and he is the one pulling the strings, causing all these problems, and is causing trouble for our main characters. I could be right, I could be wrong. Chances are, though, that this guy is not on our team, because this is a very menacing stance he's taking. And for the last shot of the trailer, it appears that the other world is colliding with our real world, as we can see the casino signs again, and also, hi there, mystery 4th dude party member. Hope we get to see you soon, dude. But yes, this scene is most likely, at the end of the game, the climax, like the end, right? Because I assume other people can see this too, and that is probably going to cause a lot of troubles, but anyways, that is pretty much the end. Igor says hi again, and we receive the Japanese release date, September 15th. Holy crud, I can't believe it either, guys. The game is actually coming out. It's not a myth, it's not a joke. The game finally has a concrete release date. That is not a year. Holy crud. And I think the game's almost done, and they're gonna live up to that release date, and we will have the game very, very soon. So all in all, here are my thoughts on this trailer. This is exactly what a teaser needs to be. It showed us a nice mix of new characters, game mechanics, and that Atlus game design I've grown to love over the years. As far as things go to analyze, though, it's kind of bare. Sure, there are definitely some points to speculate on, such as the Rotten Man and where the characters are flying to, and possible arcanas for our supporting cast, but outside of that, nearly everything is kind of cut and dry here. But that's okay. Sure, there are some things, such as the Pyramid Mystery and what exactly that final scene is alluding to, but outside of that, most of the questions here are very tame. However, there is still more to cover. As before we saw the fourth promotional video, we were given an interview with Katsura Hoshino, which has a ton of gameplay segments to it, which we're going to be speculating on in a future video. So if you want to see that, click right here, as this video is kind of getting on the lengthy side. So if you're at all interested in that, or you like my videos, make sure to check that out. But we're still not done here yet. The next event for Persona 5 is actually going to be incredibly unique. I assume this will be the 5th promotional video, which I thought was actually going to be shown off at the Persona concert, but no. This time, guys, it's a bit different. The 5th promotional video for Persona 5 is actually going to be shown in North America. That's right, not in Japan. This year at E3, literally a month away from now, Atlus is coming to NA, and they're apparently bringing Persona 5 with them. And guess who's going to E3? That's right, I am. And if you guys want to see content on what on earth Atlus is going to show at this event, please subscribe to this channel. I cover tons of Persona 5 stuff. I'm going to be covering the game once it comes to North America. And if you want to be informed first on what's going on with Persona, you definitely need to follow my channel. A somewhat shameless plug there, but I just thought I needed to share that with you. Guys, I am so excited for Persona 5. I plan to make more videos on the subjects that we saw here and keep you up to date. Next week, we will get a Famitsu interview from the Persona 5 team, and most likely that will have some decent details inside of it, so make sure you subscribe if you want to stay up to date with that. Guys, Persona 5 is shaping to be the RPG of the decade. I can't even believe it, man. I can't even believe the game is real. It's not even out yet and has completely exceeded my expectations. God, it just oozes style and everything. Oh my gosh, it's so amazing. Anyways, though, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Yet again, I apologize if there was not a ton of analysis going on here. The details are still slowly pouring in from the event, and we are still going through the translation and checking everything out. But for the time being, this will just have to hold you over. I hope you all enjoyed. Tell me in the comments, though, which of the new characters do you think looks the coolest? Personally, I gotta go with Barrette Chick. She's the best, man. Anyways, hope you all have a great day. Stay tuned for more Persona 5 coverage coming soon, and see you in the next video. Bye.